Hey everyone, it's UnsungNPC back here with another class video for you. This is the final one out of the regular non-prestige classes. It is the Wizard. I'm sure this one has been long awaited. It's a very popular class. I myself love the Wizard class. So we're going to be taking a look at the Wizard. Alright, so the Wizard. The Wizard is pretty straightforward. A lot of the casters are pretty straightforward because instead of like all these bunches of powers, they tend to just focus on spells, right? And like, we're not really gonna go over every single spell in the game right now. So, you get a specialist school, okay? So you choose a specialist school where you get powers, you get an additional spell slot for that school. And I believe you get opposition schools, right? Is that a thing? I believe so. Like if I choose one. Yeah. And you get opposition schools. Okay. That's right. It wasn't popping up. I was like, where'd it go? Alright. You also get a Arcane Bond. The Arcane Bond can be, the Arcane Bond can be the bond, it's like the magic item bond, where you get to regain a spell slot, or it can be a familiar, which gives you some skill bonuses, usually perception and then another skill. You also get your wizard bonus feats, right? Wizard bonus feats. And that's your standard wizard, alright? We're going to be taking a look at the schools after we go over the archetypes. Next is the Arcane Bomber, where you have 4 opposition schools. So you're really specialized, but you get Arcane Bombs. Alright? It's kind of like the Alchemist Bomb, but it's a little different. So, you choose one type of energy from acid, cold, fire, and electricity. It can be any of the 4. And you throw bombs of that type. You cannot modify them with discoveries. You can use bombs a number of times per day equal to your class level plus intelligence modifier. 30 feet, thrown, splash, weapon, special attack. Can be selected using feats like point blank shot, weapon focus. On a direct hit, the Arcane Bomber's bomb inflicts 1d8 points of damage of the chosen energy type, plus additional damage equal to the bomber's intelligence modifier. It increases by 1d8 at every odd number level. Splash damage from an Arcane Bomber's bomb is always equal to the bomb's minimum damage. So if you get hit in the splash zone. Alright? As a swift action, an Arcane Bomber can sacrifice one of his spells to empower the next bomb he throws during this turn. When he does, he gains a bonus to hit with the next bomb he throws before the end of his turn equal to the level of a spell that he sacrificed, and a bonus to damage equal to twice the level of the spell. So that's cool. So you're basically, all you're really going to end up using spell slots for is to power up those bombs and just throw like magically enhanced bombs. You don't get all the perks that you would get from like Alchemist discoveries, but I guess the trade-off is that you can infuse your magic into the bomb to make it more powerful. So overall, your bombs are going to be more powerful than a regular Alchemist bombs. But that is interesting. And you still get your bonus feats. You just have more opposition schools. An opposition school is it means that if you want to cast a spell from that school, you have to use 2 of your spell slots to cast 1 spell. My all-time favorite archetype for Wizard, Thessalonian Specialist. I specialize when I do magic anyway. Like, I focus on, like, 2 schools, maybe, to, like, really hone in on, because doing feats for all the other schools is just too many feats. So I love the Thessalonian Specialist because the upside is you get 2 additional spell slots each spell level. So you get to, the one spell you would put in that, you get to use it twice instead of just once, which is really, really cool. The restriction is that you don't get to customize your opposition school. It's selected when you choose your specialization. And then there aren't opposition schools, they're prohibited schools. So you can't use magic from either of those 2 schools at all. If they are coming from like an item, or like your gear gives you the ability to use fireball 3 times per day, but you can't use evocation spells, then you have to use a use magic device skill check to make it happen. Other than that, they function the same. I love the specialization. I love more bonus spell slots. I think it's great because who uses all of the schools anyway, right? And the last of the normal game archetypes is the Scroll Savant. All it does is you're replacing some bonus feats for some scroll bonuses. So scroll focus, Savant adds half your class level to your use magic device checks. You will always take 10 on use magic device checks to cast a spell from a scroll if 10 on a roll is enough for a successful skill check. So if you only have to roll a 10 or lower, then you will automatically nail that, basically, is what that means. Whenever the Scroll Savant uses a scroll, he calculates the DC for any spell using his intelligence modifier instead of the minimum modifier needed to cast a spell. So normally scrolls will just use the minimum modifier. They'll have like a preset DC, but this makes it to where you use your spell casting to do the DC. And then Scroll Mastery allows you to use your own caster level for the scrolls as well, instead of this caster level of the scroll originally. That's awesome, because if you stock up on those low-level scrolls, then eventually those low-level scrolls are going to be crazy high-powered compared to what they were when you found them. So that makes, scrolls more worth it to me. I personally love the Scroll Savant. I know there's one in Wrath of the Righteous, so I'm very excited to have a companion that's a Scroll Savant. I just think they're so cool. Okay, these next archetypes are from the Call of the Wild mod on the Nexus. Okay, so if you want to stick around and see what these are, I suggest doing so, because some of them are pretty cool, and you might like them. First is the Exploiter Wizard, which is basically like a wizard arcanist. You're sacrificing Arcane Bond for Arcanist X points, and you're also sacrificing Signet like a specialist school. So you get Arcane Reservoir, which we use your wizard level for determining points for, and then you get Arcanist Exploits. If you want to know more about what different exploits and the Reservoir and everything, I have an Arcanist video out that goes into more detail about it. So you can go check that out. But yeah, you basically become an Arcanist Wizard. Spirit Whisperer Worshipper. Spirit Whisperer. This kind of makes you a Wizard Shaman. So you have to choose a familiar for your Arcane Bond. You don't get a Specialist School. You get a Spirit Link. So you get a Spirit like a Shaman, and you get access to the Spirit's abilities. And you use Intelligence modifier instead of your Wisdom modifier for abilities and hexes and stuff like that. But you don't gain any hexes or spirit magic spells from the spirits. Only just like, I think it's like two or three abilities, but that's it. You get 1 bonus feat, and then you get these spirit hexes where you use intelligence, like I said, instead of wisdom. If you want to know more about spirits and spirit hexes, those are in the shaman video, and that goes into much more detail about what those do. So you can check that out. The next one is the Pact Wizard. This one's recent. It also looks kind of cool. You get patron spells. Functions like the witch. Okay, so it's like a witch wizard. Except you automatically add patron spells to your spell book instead of the familiar. You can expend any prepared spell that isn't a spell prepared using the additional spell slot. Okay. Oh, in order to spontaneously cast a patron spell. Oh, interesting. Arcane Bond. So you get greater power, greater expense. So at 5th level, you choose one Oracle Curse, using half your character level as the effective Oracle level when determining the effect of the curse. If it would add spells, the Pact Wizard instead adds those spells to the Wizard spell list, as well as to your spell book. That's cool. The Pact Wizard can invoke Patron's power to roll twice and take the better result when attempting any caster level check, concentration check, initiative check, or saving throw. You can activate it as a free action before attempting the check. You can use this a number of times per day equal to your intelligence mod. Cool. 15th level, you apply meta magic feats to any spells learned via your patron or curse. Then you get to treat the spell's final effective level as one lower. Oh, that's nice. So you have a level dump so that you don't have to, so it doesn't have to be a higher level. So you can get away with some different meta magic feats. Speaking of meta magic feats, I have a meta magic video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. That's Wednesday. I don't know how many days are in March. So, but Wednesday. That's when I'm gonna release a meta magic video that tells you about how to use meta magic in this game, what meta magic feats do, how to customize your spells, all that mess. So be on the lookout. Greater power, greater expense, level 20. You invoke your patron's power to roll twice on a check, and you add intelligence bonus to the result as an insight bonus on top of that. So that's pretty cool. Cool little bonuses. Very cool. Alright, let's take a look at these schools. I want to warn you, the Call of the Wild mod does add schools. Like, it adds, like, the focused schools and this other version of the Universalist. Because normally, it's Abjuration, Conjuration, Divination, Enchantment, Evocation, Illusion, Necromancy, Transmutation, Universalist. And now we have all this other crap. And by crap, I mean really cool stuff. So I'm going to kind of like put these up here, and you can pause and check out what these powers do and see if any of this stuff seems interesting to you. Alright? Enhancement. Okay. You can pause and take a look at what those powers do. Phantasm. Oops. Prophecy. Teleportation. This one's cool. Undead. This one's also cool. Then we go back to like Abjuration. I've actually made a Mystic Theurge who focus on cleric buffing and then Abjuration school for the Protective Ward, and it worked really, really well. The Protective Ward saved our asses a number of times. Conjuration. I feel like Teleportation's cooler than this, because Acid Dart's whatever. I don't really like Acid Dart very much. I think it's a waste. Divination. Very niche abilities here. Enchantment. I like this one because of the persuasion bonus. I'm not gonna lie. Worth it just for that. Evocation. Evocation's always great. You really can't go wrong with damage, right? Intense spells. Great ability there. Illusion. I always still have wanted to play an illusion caster so bad. So, Necromancy. Transmutation. I think this is another like enhancement. Probably is better than Transmutation, to be honest. I think enhancement, Teleportation, and Undead are better than the original ones. Prophecy and Divination, kind of the same there. Phantasm's cool and Illusion's cool. They're both just different. And then Admixture is kind of cool too. So it just depends on what you want to do. And Universalist. I think that Arcane Crafter is way better because I like Meta Charge better than Hand of the Apprentice. I really don't care for Hand of the Apprentice. I think it's a crap ability, so I don't like it. And those are the schools. Yeah, those are the schools. And obviously we have all the familiars here, right? We got the cat, which is stealth. Centipede for will. Chicken for hit points. Dog for nature. Duck for knowledge world. Hare for initiative. Jerboa for athletics. Lizard for natural armor. Monkey for mobility. The mod adds the Owlcat familiar, which is stealth. Rabbit is reflex. Rat is fortitude. Tarantula is athletics. And Viper is persuasion. Really, Viper is the way to go most of the time. When I played a witch and I had a familiar, though, I used the... You can only choose from the hare, the cat, or the rat. And I chose the cat because I was a stealthy boy. I think rat might be... No, rat's fortitude, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so... These are the schools. Alright. That's how Wizard works. This is the Wizard. I think Wizards are awesome. They're like the most versatile caster in the game, except for Mystic Theurge. Mystic Theurge is like true versatility. And as much as people don't like it, if you download the mod, then it adds the ability that everyone complains is missing. But we'll get into that in the Mystic Theurge video when I start doing Prestige class videos. So yeah, the Wizard. Awesome. Love it. Like I said, I'm doing a video that's going to be released for Meta Magic. So check that out when that comes out, because that's going to be awesome. Whether you're new or a veteran, check out the mod Call of the Wild on the Nexus. It's pretty freaking dope. Highly suggest it, as well as the other mods linked in my description below. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and subscribe to keep an eye out for other guides and my eventual Let's Play content. Because I'm going to be playing this and then going right into Wrath of the Righteous. It's going to be a whole mess of fun, so you're going to want to stick around for that. I'm UnsungNPC, and I will catch you guys in the next one.